Assalamualaikum warahmatullah and good morning, good afternoon to everybody. So I'm Siti Suriani Othman from University Sains Islam Malaysia, USIM. I'm with my fellow researchers, Liana Maknayan, Aruna Devaraju, both from UTAR, and Kartini Kamaruzzaman from USIM. We would like to present our research findings on students' perception about journalism in Malaysia. So we have studied students from 3 universities, USIM, UTAR, and Shaman University, Malaysia. So basically we have a majority of the students from USIM and UTAR for this study. So in general, we want to know how these students, and these students are all communication students, and we want to know how they perceive journalism in the Malaysian context. So why do we want to study the view of the students? Mainly for those who don't have any knowledge about Malaysian journalism. So maybe we can brief a bit and before I continue further with the findings. Basically, in terms of our press freedom index, for example, we are not so good, but we are improving. So for example, the index for Malaysia in 2022 last year, we were at the place of number 113, and we jumped actually 6 places as compared to 119 in 2021. So this place is actually much better as compared to 10 years and 15 years back. And when we're talking about media ownership in Malaysia, it is affiliated with the government in power, and also we have several media laws as well, which regulate the media industry. So with that as a background, so we want to know whether the students, communication students, whether they realize about this or not, and whether they have certain understanding about the journalism industry, and also how they perceive the future of journalism industry in the Malaysian context. So the first question that we ask is, how do these students perceive journalism in the Malaysian context? And majority of them actually perceive our Malaysian journalism in a quite positive manner. So it's 37.9%, scored 4, mark 4, and 31% actually mark 4.5. So these are actually very high in terms of how they perceive. And most of them, basically they see that basically journalism in Malaysia, it plays its role as what it should play basically. That's in terms of the general explanation that we get from these 29 respondents. And generally that's how they see how journalism functions in the Malaysian context. But of course, some of them also see that media also give biased statements, and maybe this respondent scored or mark a lower mark in the previous question just now. And the next one is we ask Malaysia in terms of their perceptions, whether Malaysia is a country that they feel allows the public to enjoy press freedom. And here it's also majority actually, 14, majority answered yes, and 12 from 29 answered 50% in the middle. So the reason for this is probably because they feel that through journalism, we can write and share anything. Yeah, but the thing is, when we're talking about how much freedom, it is actually not so enjoying press freedom, but we are improving. And when we ask the question whether the students realize that our index is improving than 10 years back, 72.4% said yes, which are basically correct in terms of the answer, and 20% said they don't know whether the index is improving or not for Malaysia. And then how much they understand about media ownership. This is quite good because 72.4% understand that the ownership of media in Malaysia is basically affiliated with the government in power, and only 17% think that or perceive that our media ownership in Malaysia is privately owned. And when asked whether they are concerned about the growth of Malaysia online newspaper and the demise of printed paper actually affect them in any ways or not, majority of them said yes. So this one is also good in terms of the perception. It means they know that there is a kind of demise of printed paper in Malaysia and other countries, and the growth of online newspaper. And is this phenomenon affecting them, yeah, as a future journalist or as a future media practitioner? 41% basically said yes, 31% said no, and 24% said they are not sure about this. Yes, so they have provided various reasons for this. For those who said yes, of course, they know that digital age has transformed everything about journalism and also the practice itself. So of course, it is not the same like before, and they need to change. And for those who said no, yeah, so they provide different answer, yeah, or explanation about this. And basically, when we're talking about this, it is basically a yes. Yeah, the answer is yes, because definitely it will affect in terms of practice and in terms of how much how many journalists we need in a newsroom is definitely not the same with the previous practice. And we also asked, do you think journalism has a bright future with a great future for future journalists? And 62% majority said yes, and 34% said they're not so sure, yeah, maybe. And so this one is actually in terms of future, we still have future. So it's just the context of working is different, yeah, but still there's major skills in journalism, it remains the same. uh, Journalists need to able to write, journalists need to able to gather information, yeah, gather news, yeah, news gathering, all those are basically similar. Of course there are dynamics of all those as compared to before, yeah, but still whatever that journalists do last time, yeah, as compared to now, they still need to do and have and possess the skill as a journalist, yeah, but maybe they are now not writing for printed publishers anymore, but now for online, yeah, and the skill, writing skill is slightly maybe different, but still news writing, feature writing, they still need to have those skills to become a journalist basically. And then these are some of the reasons, yeah, of why they think that journalism has a bright future or not. I will just go through very fast on this. Okay, so basically, these are the response that we got, yeah, from by explaining, yeah, what they feel about that. And as a conclusion, um, we can conclude that basically understanding about journalism is moderate among communication students in this university that we examine. And for journalism students, it's quite good there because they have quite an accurate perception about journalism in Malaysia. But for communication students, which who are not majoring in journalism, they seem to know almost anything. They don't know anything about journalism, and some of them seem don't care as well. Yes, so basically, we would suggest that more exposure should be given to communication students about the overall communication landscape in Malaysia, whoever they are or whatever their majoring is. They should be exposed with developments of the general development of various fields in communication, including journalism, broadcasting, advertising, and PR. So it means if they are majoring in PR, for example, they should have some knowledge about journalism, broadcasting, and advertising. If they are in advertising, they should know some knowledge. They should have some knowledge about journalism, broadcasting, and PR, for example. So that's basically our conclusion and our suggestion. So thank you so much, and we hope that the findings is useful, yeah, for further research, and also for us to know that the level of the understanding of our own students, and because we are mainly like myself, I'm teaching journalism, and we have several other in my team for this research who are teaching PR, for example, who basically teach communication but not in journalism major. So basically, hopefully the findings of this research would provide some findings that is useful for us to equip our students to graduate with more knowledge about the field itself. So thank you so much. We will see you later in our next presentation in a different conference. Thank you.